Let's go back to the Chatzoy Eagle that we skipped. Let's go on that. We'll go back. He brings out the idea how the Seichel, he wants to say, originally speaking of the idea that Chlifu Duchtayu was a Raya, that the Eid itself has a Tzir. If not, they wouldn't be able to consider it to change its place, because the Eid doesn't have a place. The fact that I say that Chlifu Duchtayu Eid HaChesed B'Kli HaGvura is the taiches that it has its inyan. It says what it is. Afal Pekein, it came into opposite Keli in the Kli HaGvura. That's the Raya that the Eid itself is Mitzuyah. That's all from our Maimer that he brings Kama Rayas, that Chochmeh, even the Eid HaChochmeh is also Be'ein Areich to Ein Sof. Because already
there's no way we can understand that the Or was already mislabish in the Kli of Chochmah, of Chesed, let's say, and then even after it's mislabish in the Kli of Chesed, then it goes into the Kli HaGvura.
So then there would
any such
then it would, so then
or we just can't say that, and logistically it just doesn't work.
I don't know. Then it would be slapshus Kli HaChesed B'Kli HaGvura. It wouldn't be Misyachas Eloir.
Well, it's not the K, it's or which came already through the Kli HaChesed.
It's Keli, it's Mitztaya, it became formalized according to, that's Tach Keli is dominant over here. So if this Keli is dominant, it's Chanoch HaShayel from Niskalvus, Hasvidis, that's already a different idea. It's already a word from Niskalvus. And that's the word that you mentioned from the Igas HaKedish from Siman Yud Gimel, that the fact that they were Mekul B'Sham Mechurim B'Silul was connected with Niskalvus. Siman Yud Gimel, I think. But here he doesn't, here he goes, it's Mitzad Eir. Well, let's see the Hezbollah over here. Let's see the way he explains it here. It's to be Metavach, with Kol Shar became his Chassidus, is a Aveda B'fnei Atzmei.
Yeah. Melech used to say that. You hear Marshall?
Yeah. Abag.
No, is it? Dat verstehen in mijn hart. Steht in andere plaatsen. Wat ik verstaan was geen dag.
Today, let's understand this here. Fine. No, well, you learned it for so many years. You want to self-solve klug. It's art. It's like the foaming before.
The trouble is, with the Eivshot, he wears so many different hats that, you can't figure him out. You really can't figure him out. That's the bottom line.
Try your best. Fine.
Here, it's Azoi, it's Azoi. Legavi dem, it's Azoi. Legavi there, it's Azoi. Everything. So then it's Fumaret, so then it's anyway. Okay, so
let's go back to the third line on Amud Chafalev, and then we're going to go back to Ayin Bais. He says over here now how Shammai and Hillel, each one on their own, have their way of seeing things. But says their natural way of thinking of things is Shammai is a Gvura and Hillel went to Chesed. Was looking to be Matir, to be Megala, the Yachas Telikos, not to show Shlila. But what they heard from Shmai Vavtalian was equal. They both heard one Nukuda. Each one took it on their way. So he says, how is it possible from one Poshet because Svara they should get opposite Svaras? So he gives the Dugmi Shleimar Shazol Derech HaMavur Be'inyan Eir Ma'im Rekiya. Eir Ma'im Rekiya, that's Seder Ishtalshlus of anything. Till it materialized, till it becomes a Hagdoric thing. In other places in Chassidus, it's brought down the idea of Chemer, Tzura, and Tikkun, which is also three stages of the development of the thing. First it's Poshut, Chemer, Poshut, and then it gets a Tzura, which the Tzura is only a closed Tzura, and then it's Tikkun, it gets a fixed Mugdar Dike, Pratis Dike, Shiur. Eir Ma'im Rekiya is Al Derech. Eir, we'll see types of it.
Same.
It's they match each other. Yeah. We're going to start on the third line on Chaf Aleph. But we're just doing the brackets because we went over it last. We didn't do it. Okay. Then we're going to go back to Ayin Bais. She says like this: the Maye says the first level is beyond any tzir b'chal eir. Eir is poshut. What's Eir? Just like Begashmius. What's Eir? It just gives openness. It just lets us now we could see everything what's here. It's not that we see the Eir itself. It's beyond definition. Eir is poshut. Eir inyan Begashmius is to leave go of boundaries. There's no boundaries. No everything in its own domain. Everything is together. We things are seen. Eir is not that the thing itself is misgala, rather that things because of it are seen. Well, a little idea there. Fine. Then there is Mayim. Mayim is already dover gashmi b'yachas to Eir. Eir is we don't even see Eir. We see thanks to Eir. It's also in gashmi Eir. Keil mare bereach ein ben mishum eile, because it's in gashmi itself. It's in ruchni like. But sof it has it's dover gashmi. What is it? To make things open, that means it's not going to have its own definition. It would say that if you can't make a picture of Kirun Eir Pnei Meisha, you can make a picture of Meisha being a shiny face, take away the shadows, but it's not. You can't make a picture of light. Maya is already more of a Magushim Dikamitzias, but the Yachas. To lower than that, it's also poshut. The yachas to rekia, which is like ice, like water, which is stiff. Aglidu maya, like says over here, maya is naidi. Water moves around. You can make any tzir from water. Rekia is aglidu maya. They're already set. This is a moshul behind the mayim. He in the kudas hachochma. Shechilim adayin la takes the whole tzad. You can take it anywhere. Shaking the key is already when it comes into bineh, when it already has this eifen of explanation of the inyan. It's like Maimer the Kudus HaSeichel. This is the Gim Madreges Eir Maimer Kiyah. The three levels of Eir Maimer Kiyah. Hein v'hashef ha'shenimshech min ha'mashpil ha'makav. There too, there's these three stages of Eir Maimer Kiyah. Eiru k'mei sh'ashpoya dayin eitzel mashpil behelem. There's the way it's still by the mashpil. Then there's Mayim who Commission Nimshach with Galsman Mashpil and Makabel. The Rab, the system Mashpil is giving over already, he's revealing it. So although the Makabel didn't take it yet, didn't make it his way of seeing things, it's still the Rab explaining it, but there's already, it could come anyway. The Rekia who Commission Nitva Seitzel Makabel. Rekia is already when it's fixed, this is the way it is. So he says, so just like we see that by Eir the Pshat that there is no definition, you cannot find the defined Chesed and Gvura in the Seichel Rav. Says the sitting Shammai and Hill in front of Shmai Vaftalion, they're saying one Seichel, which is Poshet, can go any way. Who's going to take it? Which way? That's according to how their kelim are. This three levels, you have Ad Rum Hamayla, still the highest levels. As we said before, we speak about the Nevroim, Bri Yitzir Asiyah, the same thing will be in Kelim, Pnimis HaKelim, Mtsoyis HaKelim, Chetzenis HaKelim, same thing in Eir, you have three daggers in Eir also. So there's three levels in everything. There's Gimel Madreges. He says it goes with Gimel Shein the Atik. Gimel Reishin Shein B'chinas Kadmen B'tzach Metzuchzach. It's fight the three levels in Eir, which is higher than Meichin. I guess it's Arich and Atik and then Pnimis Atik. Gimel Shein the Atik is usually Chabad Atik. It's noch Echer. Loshen nimtzo mis alim und misgale. In sof is nimtzo mis alim und misgale in Reisha in Atik. Nimtzo mis alim und misgale. It's three lashenis. Nimtzo is the highest level because it's beyond definition.
Right.
He's just like we say about the Eibishter himself. He is who he is.
Right.
Then Mis'aleh means he's hidden, that means he's beyond understanding, that means we can't understand him. That itself is already the definition. Yeah, it's that the Eibishter can't verstehen, and that is the flaw, so to speak, of the Eibishter. And then there's Mis'galeh, and the Eibishter comes, and Mis'galeh, and whatever level we're speaking about, everything is all the close, or the whatever the level the idea is. So, fine. So this is the idea that they have these three stages. So the same thing happened over here by Shama and Hillel. So the Seichel Rav is Poshut. Akaponim the Lashon, if you see here, Ein Badayin is Chalkus Chesed Gvura. It's not defined which way it could go, but it's there. How is it going to go one way or another? That becomes only by the Mekabel. So that's what he said, that he's a mocker for Chesed Gvura, but it does there's Pshitus. That's what we said yesterday, and that's the idea. That's why we could call it Eira Chesed B'Kli HaGvura, since really the Chesed starts already in the Seichel Harav. So maybe it's not all that not Shaykhs to the Ein of Chesed at all. So maybe it has a Yachas to Chesed. That means the Pshitus besteht in them, so to speak, that it could go either way. Make it like this. There's two ways of Pshitus. Say Pshitus that it's beyond the Moshel to say that a Seichel can have colors. Doesn't speak to Seichel. Whether all these things nothing to do with Seichel. So it's not just it's poshut like water. You're saying water is poshut from any gavan. It doesn't have a color. What does it mean? Any color will reflect on the water, but it will say the same thing that Seichel is have any color. Are the Ruch they not shaykhs to colors? So in the dame this pshitus and this pshitus. This pshitus is within the gedorim of colors. It's a gavan poshut. But it's a gavon, and in Yoni is that it's mekabel kol tziyurim. Anything mirrors off in it. Mashenken a mitzvah pshitus system. This moshel, in ruchni is bechlal not but this gather. Saying if we're talking to ultimate pshitus, so then we wouldn't be able to say era chesed v'klal gvura. Bechlal not misyachas terin of chesed gvura to midas. But yes, that the pshitus of Eid is not that pshitus is already the way the Eibishter is misgale. Over here, the way it's misgale. So therefore, it's already coming according to Gedorim. It's already misgale. It has its Shiurim. Although it's not as mitzuyir as the Kelim, but it's shaykh to see. Therefore, on one hand, it's poshut means to be taken anyway. But on the other hand, it has a yachas to chesed. It's brought out. The eir is eira chesed. It's not just mitzad mekabel. He sees in it. It's like the eir itself is already chesed. So clear. Let's see it inside.
So I don't get why this or is mitzuyir.
Why do I have to say that the eir is mitzuyir? The question is like this: Why should it?
I mean, that's what we're doing.
You're right. It's exactly the question, right?
So, I mean, what's his hechach? Why is he? I mean, I understand. Okay, he has his proofs. But what is forcing us to say this? I mean, what's the? Yeah, it might have some little shaykhis, which is maybe then without that you couldn't have a slapshus. But
you know what? Maybe we should go back to here Ayin Aleph. Read it again from our movement is Gimel Inyan. So we're here 10 lines from the bottom.
10. Where are you?
Chaf Aleph.
Chaf Aleph.
10 lines from the bottom.
2, 4, 6, 8.
The end of the line is Gimel.
Yeah.
Our movement is Gimel Inyan.
Right.
Aleph, the eir is v'chesed gvura kishem b'akelim shalahem harim b'chnes chesed gvura mamash. Okimei hasvar kshibasogas Hillel v'shamai harei b'chnes chesed gvura mamash. The basogas Hillel harei asvarim mechayeves hachesed. He has a reason to go for chesed. Lehepach basogas shamai. We gave the mashal last time from the Avon of Yesh Me'ayin. When I understand the idea of the world being created, Yesh Me'ayin, the Havon is Posh doesn't say I should have Chesed or Gvura Avor here, but I could take it anywhere. I could take it to Chesed. I could have inside this Amir and I could Avot to the Eibishter. I realize everything I have is thanks to the Eibishter. I'm nothing to myself without the Eibishter. Or I could take it to Yireh. How I'm so insignificant and I'm not supposed to be here and verlieren sich im Ganzen. I could take it anyway. Oh, so I could have Achkir. I'm going to say like this: is it that I'm connecting these midas of Chesed and Gvura to the idea, Or is it that the idea itself, because it's so complete, it has what to say also, whether it's regarding to Chesed, whether regarding to Avo, whether regarding to Yid. It's the Shleimus Ayin Atzmi, it's the Shleimus HaSogas. His Midas are not being put onto the Meichen. The Meichen is mainly the Midas, because if the Inyan is going to be Musik correctly, that itself is going to demand an emotion of Ava or Yireh. So it's coming out of the Hasogah. So the Hasogah is Mechayev the Inyan from Ava. It's not just Zugechep. It's not like I'm putting it onto the Mele. So therefore he's saying that the A is becoming Mitzvah Chesed. Now the Sibed, the Svora, the Havon and Yesh Me'ayin, that's becoming the source for the Ava. The Seichel now transforms itself. First it was a Seichel Poshut, not saying anything, and now it came down in itself, because it was Behelm over there, it was Poshut from any Tzir. Now it's coming down into our emotion, into Chesed, that's what he's saying. That's the Raya Harisha Eiris, because now the air is already for the Hasogah is Mechayev Chesed. The Ein that can be Moshel HaMayim. This is saying not like the Moshel of the Mayim, like the part that brings the Moshel for the Svidus of like Mayim. He's saying that it's stronger than that. Over there, the Moshel of the water, they're changing according to the color of the water, of the vessel. שגם באישים בתיך הכלי ונראים לפי גוון הכלי הרי הם פשוטים בעצם ההוסם. The water doesn't change, even though it's seen a certain way, but the water doesn't change. אבל כאן הרי הסבורת שבהסוגס הילול הרי מחייב רק חסד ולגבורה וכן להיפך הסוגס שמי. The svara itself is saying something. Just like
so it's not pashut in it. That's the whole difference.
Or it's not posh. That's the right that he's bringing there. It's not the Moshel of Mayim. It's the Seichel itself.
Yeah,
but
right. But Hillel and Shammai are al derech the Kalim, right?
They're the Kalim, yeah.
So when it's in their hasag, it's like the or is already mislabish in the kli. So then it becomes, it's no longer an or pashut, which only looks like something this way or that way. But the actual or takes on the tziyur of the keli.
Yeah. It speaks to...
In other words, the keli pales the tziyur in the or itself.
Yes, how could it be? How could it be that they could change, hey, don't work the way you are, work the way I am. Muslims sagen that already in the air as a yachastit. It's not, you can't put someone into something it's not him. You can't change it if it's not nothing.
That's the whole point over here.
Oh, it is, yeah. Behind Lefi, why is it talking? This is going
because it's mufshat. It can't. It has to have this property of being shayach.
Yeah.
Or else it wouldn't.
Or else it wouldn't relate. Stay poshut. It would be like mine.
In other words,
the other person sees it would be mine thing. The fact that it could be mine thing.
In other words, if we would take the mashal or hamakif and put it somehow into Kalim,
it wouldn't change.
It wouldn't change.
Right? That's why it doesn't speak to the thing. No one gets it. No one knows why am I doing it. I want to do something. There's no reasoning. It doesn't relate to the thing that it's doing. Right? So
the fact that this changes shows that the or to begin with has some shaykhs to Kalim.
But can or also be?
It can make anything.
In a keli.
It can make anything.
It can shine through a keli.
The Amik is the whole Eder Mamalik.
Not the keli, but it shines. The sun doesn't shine on the whole world. It doesn't make a chilik if on your house or my house.
Or the different plants that it makes it grow.
The sun is mitlavish?
No, it's not. That's all derech or makif.
Derech klal is makif. Derech klal Eir Hashem. Derech klal is makif. It's matzmiach. But when it's matzmiach, it's not Eir is matzmiach. It's a pool that happens thanks to Eir. No one's going to say we see Eir over here. It's not light came and became Epsayin. It's not lichtigkeit. It's not brightness. It's a something, a tchun or whatever.
You make two orbs at the same time.
And yeah, mashchir mavi. I could burn something. Right. Yeah, that's one another guy that it's not him. How can you have one thing doing opposite things, right? It's all mitzvah kills. No yeah. But here he's saying could be chesed and gvura and half of the cases is over there. From the word, I think it's more because this is the severta in air. Severta in marshal for it. very. What's Eir B'chlal? Okay. Akalpani, the word is that the seichel that they got, now they're using out this svara for their agenda, for their point of view. You heard what the Rav said. This is what he means. Another guy's screaming fakert, and they're both saying the same sentence. Even it doesn't have to be dafka different parts they heard from the Rav. The same word. So, and they're using that out behind Lafi Shasibas B'chinas Chesed V'Rashab Eiris Eini Rak Mitzad HaKeilim Levad Ki Mitzad Sheder Shemokar, because in the Sheder Sheir already there's an Asin Smokim. Eir already has an Asin Smokim to Svidus, to Tziyuri. Kemei Chesed V'Rashab Asfora Gav Sham V'Hil Are Asiba Hu Nei Shegam B'Sfora Sarav Yesh B'Chesed V'Rashab B'Helen.
Aren't there a few acceptance by him, Shami?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're gonna get. That's the Chesed V'Rashab. That later, the next time they come to the Rav, the way the Moshe says over here, I don't know if regularly that's chazay, that the next time they can hear the same thing, they want to hear, aber was sagt der Rav? I know last time I was biased. Well, wie ehrlich ist das? Ich genommen mich nicht, mein Teva, aber I know that the Rav is doch a Rav, und hat chazay viel zu verkaufen, das heißt, jetzt blick wohl in Jordan what he could say, what he could give. Let me hear what he has to say. And then he could start saying a verkehrte word. He could see even Eira Chesed could come into blick word. That was the Moshe gave.
Was it some inside the scholars?
There is scholars in the air. While the air dropped out. You're going to soon see. He's going to say. Oh, so here he mentions it, but the question is how gufe. Wo hebt sich an the scholars? Where does the scholars begin? In Kalim is the scholars?
Well, what's the idea? Sure.
Or in air?
Sure. The whole problem in Elam Atayu,
because
everything was itself pure chesed, pure gevura, so we couldn't take anything else. So the minute it came to something else, boom. Right? Mashenkin and Tikkun. So there was the scholars, so everybody was able to take everybody else.
Right.
So they're the scholars in Kalim.